You talk about a servant leader, guys. The CEO of a company is investing over an hour of his time. Well, actually about 2 hours, because he did that first presentation for us, and he's coming back on, and he's going to help us understand the 7 fundamental skills that you need to run your Legal Shield business. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce back to the stage, Mr.
All right. Hello, everybody. Back again. I am going to share the screen now, and you've got me for the 7 fundamentals of network marketing. So we're going to begin and start a session that is, I would argue, not really for beginners. I would say that this is for professional network marketers. Now, that isn't a distinguishing feature between full-time and part-time. You could be part-time, but a professional network marketer, these are the skills that you're going to need. And for some of you, you may have gone through these in even greater detail than I will today, because they were part of our international convention this spring, where we taught about each of these 7 individually for a longer period of time. Today, I'm going to go over all 7, and I'll share some insights and some thoughts I have about them. Now, these are the fundamental skills of network marketing, but I will tell you that at the same time, when we look at them, I think you're going to find that, in fact, they are universally valuable to people in marketing and sales. So if you're in any sales, you're going to need to find prospects. You're going to need to invite prospects to look at what it is you're selling. You're going to need to present to them what it is. You're going to need to follow up. You're going to need to learn how to close the sale. You need to get people started into the service or into the business or the product correctly. And then you need to learn, especially in our business, how to promote event to event. And again, I think a lot of these are universal. So this is a real skills-based training that I want to share with you today. And as you can see, we call it the Magnificent 7. Okay, and now for those of you that are younger, you may not get that reference, but it was a spaghetti Western that featured, I think, Clint Eastwood as a very young man. He's a very old man now. So anyway, the Magnificent 7, finding prospects, inviting prospects, presenting, following up, closing, getting people started right, and promoting event to event. Those are the 7 fundamental skills of network marketing. Let's go through each one right now. So the first one I want to talk about is finding prospects. And I like to talk about this in the context of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Now you may say, well, what does that have to do with finding prospects? And the answer is not necessarily simple, but I think it is compelling. When you start in this business, and by the way, some of you may be brand new today, welcome aboard. I hope that the earlier session convinced you to join us, and now you're with us. This is still valuable for you. And in fact, let's stay focused upon you for a moment, and that is, what are you going to do right now? Well, you're going to think, I need to share this incredible membership and or this incredible business opportunity with people that I know. Prospects, that's what they are. And generally we call it your warm list. Okay, so your warm list is going to be a family member, a best friend, a neighbor that you trust and care about, someone else that you want to go into business with. Those are the prospects. And the fact is that, like Goldilocks, when she came into the house, she tried the porridge and it was too cold, and another one was too hot, and then she finally found one that was just right. And if you remember the bed, it was too big, too small, just right. So this concept of being just right, not too hot, not too cold, that's what I want to talk about in terms of prospecting. Let's say, for instance, you just started today, and you might have 5,000 friends on Facebook, or you've got 1,700 connections on LinkedIn. Here's what you don't do. You don't send them all a video today, okay? I mean, my God, what if they all responded? All you're gonna do is set them up for disappointment. Just trust me on this. I would even tell you that if you had 1,000 friends, you shouldn't even do 100 a day for the next 10 days. Prioritize your warm list. Start with the people you know and trust the most, okay? But measure this stuff out when you start. 20 a day, 20 a day, 20 a day. People are going to respond, okay? Just out of curiosity. If you're doing this part-time, what if all 20 responded? That could potentially be an issue. Next day, you might want to slow things down. But what if 2 or 3 respond? Now you've got something going, right? Now, what about those of you that aren't starting today? Well, as you know, your warm list, it runs out, okay? The warm list runs out, and so you need to refill it, okay? Refill it. And I will tell you that, again, some people, they've been in the business for a while, they may be like, well, should I buy prospecting lists? Okay, but if you do that, don't buy it and then send something to all of them all at once. You need to think about the consistency and patience that's required in this business. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. So my recommendation is that you add 2 people every day, okay, to who you're prospecting. You may put into your prospecting list as many as you want, but you should only prospect a couple of people. I'll give you another example. Every day, if you don't buy a list or you don't have a larger list and you've used up your whole list, you don't want to try and do too much, too hot, or too little, too cold. Just try and meet a couple of people every day. I mean, I know that you may say, well, I'm shy or I'm introverted. Then you're not really hungry in the business, right? You're not willing to do what it takes and work hard to succeed in the business. You're not coachable. Because I'm going to coach you right now. You can be shy, you can be an introvert, but does that mean that you're not kind? As an example, does that mean that introverts and shy people are not kind? Well, I hope you're offended by that, because I hope you say, no, I'm kind. Well, then can't you say hello? Say hello to somebody, a stranger, meet people. Again, all you want to do is start up a conversation. You want to start up a conversation with people. Hey, how are you doing today? People that you may kind of know of, but don't really know. People that you do business with at the dry cleaner, at a restaurant or a cafe that you visit. Anyone in your life that you come across, people that you meet each day, you can greet them. And you don't have to spend a lot of time with them. Just like, hey, what do you do? Or are you happy doing what you're doing? Do you ever keep your options open? Have you ever been interested in learning how to protect your family? Just introductory kind of questions. Anyone that shows an interest, you can say, hey, I bet you wonder what I do. I'm in Legal Shield. I'd love to send you something. I'm really busy right now, but I can follow up with you later. What's your good number? You start to add that, right? You get their name, you get their information, you add it to your prospect list, and you try and send out a couple every day, every single day. Does that make sense? Every person you meet is a prospect. And this is the other thing to understand. When you sign up a member, that's not a destination, that's a doorway. You need to ask everyone that becomes a member in your business, hey, who else do you know that might be interested in the protection and empowerment of Legal Shield and ID Shield? Who do you know that might be interested in coming into business with us? They are not a destination, they are a doorway. And it's okay, by the way, to ask right when you get people signed up new as members. It's okay to follow up with them later. Hey, I just wondered how everything was going. Have you had a chance to use the membership? Is there anything I can help you with? Have you given any more thought to other people that might have an interest in the memberships? And people will be like, you know what? I just heard from so-and-so, and yeah, I think this could really fit in for them. They have a need right now. They have a worry. They have an opportunity that they're interested in. So again, every prospect that responds to an exposure should provide you with 2 to 10 more prospects. People can say to you, hey, I don't really want to join. And you can say, well, please keep me in mind. I think, hopefully I can help change your mind, or you'll change your own mind, because these are powerful memberships. And that's okay. But do you know of anybody else that might? People may say, like, right now is a bad time for me. Completely understand. Do you know anybody else that you think might find value and benefit in the Legal Shield and ID Shield memberships? They'll tell you. They'll say, you know what? Not right for me, but yeah, I take what I do. And they'll tell you who those people are. That's what prospecting is all about. Finding prospects is no different than simply being engaged with people in a positive manner, always talking about Legal Shield and ID Shield as a means of helping people, and then finding out who they know that might also benefit from that membership and service. In fact, let me just say though, two great quotes. John C. Maxwell, who do you know that I should know? It's a great question. What are people going to be like? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Who do you know that I should know? I mean, the whole message again is, who do you know that would benefit from this service? Who do you know that would benefit from this opportunity? And then A.L. Williams, let's go see them right now. You know, he was a man of action. He was the founder of A.L. Williams Company that became Primerica. And so who do you know? And let's go see him right now, especially for someone that's a teammate that you just brought into the business as an associate member. Who do you know that I should know? Who do you know that you'd like to be in business with? Who do you know that you trust and want to be in business with? Let's go see them right now, okay? Fundamental and critical element. Second, now, once you have prospects, the question is, how do you invite them into the network marketing business as a teammate? Now, clearly, they've got to get the membership, but increasingly during this 7 fundamentals of network marketing, I'm going to talk more and more about getting people into the business with you. First off, that is most important when you're talking to a prospect. How do you invite them into your business with you on your team? You need to focus on them. Absolutely critical. You need to really be focused on this is a service to help them. The business that they will join will serve them and help them. It's not about you. Okay, this isn't like you're meeting a quota. You've got so many to do, and it's a victory. You know, that doesn't have any role in our culture. You're focused on them and helping them. That means that you have to listen to them, right? You have to listen to them when you start asking the questions that I'm going to share, and you're going to need to really listen carefully and understand what they need. Okay. I'll also talk about the mystery approach, which is really pioneered by the great Dave Cebula, the #1 money earner in Legal Shield history. And then I'll talk a little bit about the technique of if I would you, and I'll give you some examples on how you invite prospects into the business. And as I like to always say, it's better to be chased than to do the chasing. Be impressive yourself, and others will want to join you in this business. So let's get started. The first one I want to talk about is if I would you. Oops, excuse me. If I could show you how to live free and worry less, will you watch a brief video? If I could show you how to protect your family, will you join me on a call with an executive on my team? If I could show you how to set up a side hustle, will you join me as a guest at a meeting that I'm holding? Now, again, these questions can be adapted and mixed and mingled in any kind of situation. Do you want to send them a video? Do you want to send them the mobile app? Do you want to send them an invitation to a Zoom? Do you want to invite them to a telephone call? Any of those things, you can ask them the questions that you think are pertinent to them, preferably as you're starting to get to know them. You know, what's going on in your world? You know, how do you like what you do? Do you like your boss? Do you like your work? You know, if people aren't happy, now there's an invitation for you to say, well, if I could show you how to set up an opportunity that could build financial freedom over time, would you be open to watching the video that I send you? Okay, I mean, that's what, if they taught whatever you learn about them, you know, what's your greatest frustration? Well, I wish that I could get a bigger place so each kid could have their own room. Fantastic. If I could show you how to begin to earn money that you would set aside, not to pay bills, but just to set aside in savings, would you be willing to be on a call with an executive on my team? Talk about it. Learn about it. If I would you. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not doing my slides very well, so please bear with me, and I apologize. I want to talk now, though, about well, in fact, I take that back. I've got to go back and talk a little bit more about inviting prospects. So with inviting prospects, Florida, I'm just telling you, the other thing is the mystery approach. So the mystery approach says, I'd like to show you something. You may or may not be interested, and it'll take about a minute. Now, in this case, I'm really talking about the membership, because when I say I'd like to show you something, critical language, people don't like to be told things. They like to be shown things, okay? Critical insight from Dave Cebula. I'd like to show you something. I like to see things. I want to tell you something. That's offensive. People don't want to be told. Second, you may or may not be interested. I just gave all of the power to the other person, because they now have permission from me that they can say, I'm not interested. You said I may or may not be. Amen, amen. So you've transferred that permission to them, and now they're like, sure, you just told me that I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. Fantastic insight from the great Dave Cebula. And it will take about a minute. In that case, I'm going to show them the mobile app. We put a law firm in the palm of your hand. Look at my mobile app, all the things that it can do. For the business opportunity, the great Dave Cebula would say it takes about 15 minutes. Now, I will tell you that you can prospect even more than a personal presentation like Dave Cebula would do to talk about the business. You can say, hey, I'd like to show you something. You may or may not be interested, and it'll take about a minute. And then say, I just need your email, or I need your cell number. I'm going to send you a video. And quite frankly, you don't even need to look at it right now. Look at it later. I'll get notified when you've had a chance to look, and I'll call you up and we'll talk about it. That's the mystery approach. Getting people to be exposed to the information, to the video. All right, that's it. By the way, you can show them the mobile app and say, hey, I'd love to send it to you. Let me just have your information. Send it through Prospect. Now they can look at it. You can follow up with them later, right? Does it make sense? Good. Is it a yes or yes? All right, appreciate you. Now I want to go on to talking about presenting. Now, when you are going to master the 7 fundamentals of network marketing, the truth is you are going to rely early on, in your career and your business, on third-party tools. I just talked about them. Sharing a video, sharing an invitation to a Zoom, sharing the mobile app, sharing an invitation to a 3-way call with someone who's going to do the presentation. But if you are serious about this business, it may take time, in fact, it will take time, attending Zooms, attending meetings where presentations like the one I did earlier today is going to be shown. Osmosis and participation, you'll kind of figure them out and learn how to do it yourself. You also can just practice them, okay? But to be a professional, to really make money in this business, to be able to lead a team, you're going to need to learn how to make that presentation yourself. And this is when you move beyond the tools. You always want to tell your teammates who are joining the business and are part-time and they're always on the tools. But if you want to move to the next level, you're going to have to move beyond the tools and be able to make presentations yourself. It's just natural in a business of marketing and sales. It just is. I will tell you that the presentations themselves, practice makes improvement. Like I did a presentation earlier today. I've probably done our service and opportunity presentation, our social, our open house, our business briefing presentation. I've probably done it now, well, we're getting close to 100 times in my 6 years as CEO of this company. And I don't think my predecessors ever did it. I just felt it was critical. I needed to really understand deeply how to do it and then understand how to make it better, because most of those slides, all that content, it's coming from us to serve all of you as associates. We want the message to be powerful, the material to be compelling. I just felt I needed to do it. And guess what? The first time I did it, it wasn't that good, all right? The second time it was better, the third time better. Hopefully today it was good enough. I don't think that I'm the best, but I give it my best. But practice will make you improve. You can do it in front of yourself. You can get in front of a mirror. The late, great Ken Moore, he was taught by Wilburn Smith, first president of Prepaid Legal. You got to get in front of the mirror in the bathroom and make the presentation. This is the script. Back then they didn't even always have PowerPoints, or they'd have slides or a single card to go through, but they would make a presentation. The reason that all this matters, because you may be like, oh my gosh, I just love the system of success. I find prospects, I invite them to watch a video or come to a Zoom, and good things happen in my business. Amen, amen, amen. I say to you, do not change. if you have too much anxiety to take it up a notch. But if you're ready to build a bigger team, to make more money, you've got to learn to present the product, the service, and the business. And here's why. Because the real money is when you have your own meetings. Your meetings make money. When you suddenly go from just bringing guests to an activity and they see other people do it and they join, to holding your own events, whether it's on Zoom or in person, and you are, in fact, the person leading that presentation, then it is your business and team. You can see it right there. The people that join, the people that come on board as a teammate, that is the power of duplication and leverage, and that's where you explode your own team and business. Now I want to talk about number 4. The fortune is in the follow-up. Follow-up is absolutely critical. It's absolutely critical. And I want to talk to you about some things, and I'm going to give you a little bit of tough love right now. Okay, I hope you can handle it. All right. Following up is about keeping your promises. Okay, it is not about being pushy. And here's where I'm just telling you, if you fail to follow up when you've made a commitment, you are a liar. You are a promise breaker. Now, I hope that startled you a little bit. Wait a minute. What? You're calling me a what? Yeah. If you tell someone that you're going to follow up with them and then you don't, I'm telling you right now, that's what's called a promise breaker. You're a liar. You said you were going to do something and you're not doing it, right? You're not being pushy when you follow up. That's where you get focused on yourself. It ain't about you. It's about them. When you share with somebody information and you say, look, busy right now, take a look at the video. I'll get notified when you've opened it and watched it. So you take your time. But when I see that, I'll follow up with you. Let me have your cell number. I'll text you first, see if we can jump on a call, talk about it a little bit. If you don't do that when prospect tells you they've opened it and watched the video, okay, then you're a liar. You told them you're going to do something and you're not doing it. If you sit there and go like, oh, I don't know if they were really interested. I just don't want to be pushy. Get over yourself. It ain't about you. It's about them. I'm just telling you right now, right? You can use 3-way calls as well and share more tools. This is the other thing I want to talk about in follow-up. It's not always following up one time and expect to get a close on a membership or somebody to join as a teammate. Don't be so impatient. Don't be childlike. You're a full-grown person, a woman or a man, okay? Here's the point over on the left-hand side of this slide. It takes 6 to 8 contacts to get either a sale of a membership or to bring somebody on to the team. Why? People just naturally don't get exposed to a new idea, especially one as fantastically novel and powerful as Legal Shield and ID Shield and this business, and go like, bing, I'm ready. Maybe once in a while, but I'm just telling you, it don't work like that. I can tell you that I used to be in advertising. When I worked at Ford, when I worked at Chrysler, at Xbox, I used to make advertising. When you watch TV, and I know people watch it less and less, I'm telling you, we would want you to see an advertisement, a TV ad. We would want you to see that like 6, 8, 10, 12 times. Paid money to put it out there on media so that you would see it that many times. Why? Well, you have to sort of see it the first time, see it the second time, third time, maybe you remember, if you laughed or you cried or whatever it was the ad did for you, remember the name of the product now. Fourth time, you're like, maybe I should really give that some thought. Fifth and sixth time, you know what? I've got to take maybe I go online, maybe I get up, I go do, 7, 8, 9. It's like, you know what? Now that I own it, I feel so good about seeing it again. There's a whole psychology around this. Well, guess what? We don't do television advertising. We believe in you. We believe in you, okay? I'm telling you right now, you are not doing your job and you're not going to earn the commissions we pay rather than the advertising we don't do if you give up after one follow-up. You've got to follow up. So let me tell you, what do I mean by that? Everyone, you should send them the mobile app. Okay, it's attributed that when they download it, if they join, even when they don't even talk to you again, you're going to get paid. But a lot of people who get the mobile app, oh, isn't that interesting? Follow up with a video explaining how to use the service, the power of the service. You'll get notified through Prospect on whether they've opened it and watched it. Fantastic. You can even follow up with them on a call. Hey, you want to talk about it? Hey, I'm kind of busy right now. No problem. Here's one, Prospect, send them an article like on CNBC that is talking about all the scams that are taking place in a coronavirus, and people need ID Shield. All the people that are having problems with eviction or employment issues, send them the articles about getting Legal Shield. Okay, 36 million people are unemployed because of the coronavirus. Send them the article. Say, hey, are you ready to get started in business with me? Right? Articles matter. Reviews of our service matter. These are all points of contact. I just said mobile app, video, phone call, invitation to a Zoom, article, review. I mean, all of these things you can share, and you're going to be making multiple exposures. Have the constitution, have the persistence, have the genuine concern for the other person. Don't give up, follow up. Don't give up, follow up. Don't give up, follow up. I also will tell you that as you go through this business, you may hear some crazy objections, I'm not, that's another training for another day. The crazier the objection, the stronger you become as an entrepreneur. Objections are a gift. Number one, you should know, if people ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, say, I don't know. But I have an executive on my team that I'd like to connect us with who I bet knows the answer to that. That's known as a three-way call. Would you jump on a call with what you can do it right there, the two of you on one phone? Would you do that with me? If you ask me a question about the commercial driver legal plan, CDLP, I gotta be honest with you, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, but I have an executive on my team. Let's get that person on a phone call and then we'll both learn about it. Great question, great question. Best answers to any question. Yes, no, I don't know. Do not be afraid about I do not know. Do not think that you need to know all the answers to succeed in this business. I am CEO, I don't know everything, never will, but that's the answer every time that I don't know. And then, you know what? The other one about following up, all these points of contact, you're not being pushy. Be nice. Don't be pushy. You're following up because you made a commitment. You said you would. And then the other thing is you're just listening and getting to know them better. Hey, what's up? How's your life going? Any good news, with your job or, whatever that might be. Just getting to know them. Learn the names of the members of their family, their friends, the things that matter the most to them. Find out about their life. Especially if you want them to become a teammate. You want them to join your family, okay, your team. You want to get to know them. You don't want them to be, hey, you, okay? Spend the time. Think of follow-up as a chance to build the relationship. That's the key. Okay, let's talk about number 5, closing. Closing is important, all right? Closing is important because this is a sales and marketing business and you have to close to get a sale, okay? So closing matters, all right? And so I like to talk about this with the phrase, question me and answer. Now, that may seem like a crazy phrase, and more than likely, most of you did not see the musical in the 1970s, which was both on Broadway and then made into a movie called Shangri-La. But it had a little ditty, question me and answer. If you will, I will answer with a question, clear and bright. Anyway, I loved that when I was a kid. Never forgot that. I thought it was so clever. So questioning with me an answer is basically just always question first. Okay? Don't present first, question first. Someone watched a video that you sent them. You sent them the mobile app. Hey, what did you like best about that? What did you find interesting about that? That's really important, right? If you sent them the video about becoming a teammate, an entrepreneur, an independent associate, what did you like best, right? Just what did you find most interesting about it? What did you find most challenging? What's most intimidating? What worries you the most? It's okay to lead with those types of things. It's not all like, look, the business is simple, but it's not easy. What are you most worried about, right? What gives you the most anxiety? Ask them. You don't want to gloss over stuff. This is business, right? Okay, if it was easy, anyone could do it. But we're looking for people that have the hunger, who want to work hard, and are coachable, right? Now, you've talked to them during the follow-up, even the prospecting period. You've gotten to know them, and at some point, because you've gotten to know them, they've probably shared, like, why would they even want to consider this? I'm sick and tired of being short on payday. Like, my bills are paid. I have to pay all my bills. I got no money left, right? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? I'd like to actually take a vacation. Thank you very much. I'm worried about my kids' education. I got no money set aside. I'm worried about my retirement. I'm worried about my parents. They're getting older, right? I'm worried. Whatever their worry is, that's going to be their why. You want to make it into a positive. Hey, when you think about the fact that you want to take care of your grandparents, right? You want to take care of your parents. When you think about the fact that you want to set aside some money, for your kids' school, how appealing is this opportunity for you? That's how you think about that question, right? When you think about the fact that you'd like to save some money for retirement, how appealing is this opportunity for you? Everybody with me? Okay. Break. Why'd the change here in color? Because now I'm going to talk to you about what's known as the 4-question close. And this close is utilized universally in sales successfully because it works, right? The first question is, when you're speaking to a prospect and you're ready for them to say yes, you want to get them to yes, you can feel that they're ready for yes, then you ask the first question. Hypothetically, how much money would you need to make to consider this side hustle? How much money would you need to make in order to consider getting into business with me? Again, we've already talked a little bit about what they liked or didn't like. They talked a little bit about the why. That's really important. Hypothetically, how much money would you like to make? It ain't your answer, by the way. So there's no right answer. It's their answer. So let's say that one person says, honestly, if I could get into this and make $500 a month, that would really make a difference for me. Okay, that would really improve my life. Amen. Amen. Now, I have to ask you, how much time can you give me? How many hours can you commit each week to earn $500 a month? They say, like, I'm working full time and, I have a family. I think probably 4 or 5. Excellent. Excellent. By the way, you'll get a symmetry, and ask your executive director or other platinum executive director what the symmetry would be. But I mean, for instance, if someone said, I'd like to make $500 a month, and you say, how much time can you give them? Like a half hour a week. You can say, well, that's not going to work, right? It doesn't work that way. You're going to have to give more than that. You're going to have to want it more and work harder than that to be able to earn $500 a week. We're going to need more than that. And so you can level set, right? Equally, if somebody says, like, I want to make $100,000 a year, right? I want to make $100,000 a year. How much time can you give me? A couple hours every week, couple hours. That's not symmetry, right? But somebody tells you, I'd like to earn $500 a month. Fantastic. How much time can you commit each week to do that? Oh, 4, 5 hours. Great. Okay, great. All right. How many months will you commit to get to that $500 every month consistently? Oh, I don't know, 6. All right, great. Understood. So if I can show you a way to make $500 per month by spending 4 hours per week with me for the next 6 months, would you be willing to get started right now? You see how it works? 4 questions. Let me do another one, by the way, another scenario. Hey, I know that you've had businesses in the past. You're maybe even, familiar with what we do. Let me just ask you, how much money would you want to make in order to get started with me? Oh, I want to make $100,000. Fantastic. $100,000 a year. Great. How many hours do you think you can commit to earn that much money? Well, for $100,000, I'd basically be willing to go full time at this. If that's what it takes. Absolutely understand. Let's just agree. Hey, you're going to be able to give at least 40 hours a week. We may end up being a little bit more, but it's going to be what we do together. How many months will you give me to get to that point? Well, since I'm going full time and I want to make $100,000, I got to be honest. I got to see progress in that in 3 months. Well, okay, gotcha. I think it may take us a little longer, but trust me, in 3 months, full time, you're going to see movement that gives you the feeling, hey, you're going to get to that $100,000 goal. So if I'm hearing you, if I can show you a way to make $100,000 or like basically 8,000 or 9,000 a month, spending 40 hours a week with me for the next 3 months, are you willing to get started right now? That is the 4-question close, because the last is also a question as well. And the answer is yes, because they say how much money, they say how much time, they say for how long. You're just repeating it back to what they said. I mean, unless they have a nervous breakdown, they're going to say yes. And we don't want them to have a nervous breakdown. We want them to have a liberating moment and to change their life. Okay, number 6, getting started right. Okay, I want to tell you something. The most important thing when someone has said, yes, I'm ready to go, right, is to affirm to them that there's no trickery due, okay? There's no tomfoolery. There's no bait and switch. There's no secret handshake. This is real money, and it requires real motivation. And the motivation is going to come from their personal why. Why are they wanting to make more money? And it almost always is themselves and somebody else in their life, okay? And then second, you need to confirm that this is a business, that the money is real, but that our mission is real, right? We are motivated because today people get just as much justice as they can afford, as opposed to the justice that they deserve. And so that's what motivates us as well. So this is real money for a real cause. And we pursue that cause, Legal Shield. The other thing you got to remind them is right off the bat, man, this service is real and that they need to use it. Okay. Fastest way for an associate, a brand new associate, not to succeed once you not just recruited them. I'm talking about sponsoring now. You're going to be sponsoring someone who's hungry, who's willing to work hard, and is coachable, right? You've got all 3. But if they are like, have you downloaded the mobile app, you ask them, and they're like, yeah, I'll get to that. Let's just talk about, money making. Whoa. Got to download the apps, got to activate the apps, got to make a phone call, okay? I mean, there's got to be something that you need to do. I'm not going to encourage you to go get a speeding ticket so you can use the service, but have you done your will, right? If you do the will questionnaire, talk to the law firm, and get your will done right away, you've done something that you will be able to speak from the heart is amazing, right? It's amazing. For a membership fee of $24.95 to get your will done and then to be able to get it renewed and updated every year, man, it's life-changing. They need to use the service. They've got to have a story that they can tell as they're building their business. The other thing to remember in getting started right, tools. The new associate is not like you. They're not advanced yet. They aren't to the point of wanting to present. Sometimes people get so excited that all they want to do is talk about Legal Shield to everybody. That's a recipe for frustration because that's not how the system of success works. They're the messenger, not the message. They need to introduce people to the videos, to the mobile app, to articles, okay? They need to raise that awareness and people will come to them and want to join as both members and as teammates, but the tools are key. It's how you lock into the business. And here's what, you may go beyond using tools, but when you start to be a builder, you've got to get all of your new people using the tools. So you've got to know how to do it yourself in order to show and teach and sponsor people how to do it as well. The other thing to remember is training. Training is key. This is a business that is founded on personal and leadership development. Training matters, both personally, but then also technically. Learning how to use the technology, being able to use Prospect, Legal Shield Engage, being able to participate in every legal leadership show, reading the newsletters and understanding the newsletter. These are all the training and events that they need to plug into. They need to get to Fast Start training. They need to take advantage of the fact that we have so much support, both for them personally and also in their business. You need to remind them of the contests and incentives. There are incentives to go faster, to get started right, okay? Not to say, I'm in and I'll get to it like next year. You got to remind them the incentives are there for them to move faster, work harder, and build higher belief with more activities, and will lead to their results. You're going to want to use the contests like the Performance Club trips. I mean, who doesn't want to work hard and then get the reward of going to the Riviera Maya, for instance? These are meaningful life experiences. They're life-changing. You also want to make sure that they know that this is a family, right? This is a family. Okay, they're joining your team, but they're joining a greater family. All of you have support systems within your organizations, whether it's Team New Vision, the Advantage Group, the More Success team, any of our many family teams. You're still part of the Legal Shield family, but you know that you've got people that you can count on. This is what matters. When you sponsor well, and sponsor right, your new associate, your new team member, they know they can count on you, but you need to begin to introduce them to others within your family that they can also rely on, right? So that there's always support and access to three-way calls, to advice and counsel, to even motivation. Don't forget about getting your sponsored associate connected with a workout partner, right? Get them connected with a mentor. You've already volunteered because you're the sponsor of being a mentor and a coach, but how do you get somebody else to amplify and grow their competence and their capability? Number 7, promoting from event to event. Now this is really important, because if you really plug into the system, job 1 is you've got to use tools rather than talk. You can send 2 to 5 people the video every day of Darnell Self, Brian Carruthers talking about the services and the opportunity. And those people can watch that video and you'll be notified when they do, and you can follow up with them and you will grow your business. You cannot do 5 presentations in person. Even on Zoom, it would be hard every single day. Right? Driving around, meeting with people, talking, right? You got to use the tools to duplicate and grow your business, period. You've got to. Tools. The second, however, is that meetings are the way that you make money. And I'm just talking common sense. You're an entrepreneur. You are an independent entrepreneur. You are an independent business person. Now, if this business required you individually to rent a room, chairs and tables, registration, pay for people to do that, get a speaker with staging and lights and audio, get the speaker to make a presentation, that would be a lot of expense. That would be what's known as a big nut for you to have to overcome with membership revenue in your business. That's a good thing you don't have to do that. You see, the meetings are already in place. Your job is to be the messenger. You invite and bring people into those events. You know what's bigger than a weekly event? A monthly recruiting event, business building event, Super Saturday. Again, you don't have to put that on. It's already in motion. You have to bring your team and all their guests to that event. You're participating in somebody else's. The investment is communal. Your job for convention is not to put it on. That's on me. That's on the team. That's on Don Thompson, Tina Gassetta, John Pletcha, Jeannie Forneras, Glenn Peterson, Ted Vitalo, Emily Rose. That's on us. We got that. We're going to do the conventions. Your job is to bring all of your team and all your new associates and all the people that you have brought into the business since the last convention. How? By getting them to the Super Saturdays, getting them signed up and registered, getting them to the weekly meetings, signed up and registered. Now, during this coronavirus, clearly you can replace the physical weekly meeting with the Zooms. Right now, we're doing a Super Saturday by Zoom. We'll get back to physical meetings. Don't give up on the technology. It duplicates, okay? It's highly leverageable, right? But the meetings are the rhythm of the business. And you don't have to put on your own Zooms. You can if you're ready. But look, this one has been organized by Daniel Gonzalez, by all of the leaders in Florida. Your job was to bring people into this event. So how do you build and promote from event to event? Well, number one, you've got to start with the end in mind. And that is always a convention. So as an example, right now, we're looking at a fall event in Charlotte, our leadership convention. And so start with that end in mind. I have a goal. I see that. It's in October. I see that. I've got September. I've got all of September. I've got all of August. I've got all of July. I've got all of June. Man, I got 4 months and a little bit more, right? That I'm going to be planning to have a massive team at that event, my team. Whatever I got right now, I'm not talking about resurrecting the dead. You don't need to try and throw an alarm clock into a cemetery. Okay, we're not raising the dead. I'm talking about all new teammates. Now you're going to bring some of your best team with you, obviously, and they're going to do what you do because you're the leader. You're showing them by example. But your mindset is, in Charlotte, I want to bring 10 new associates, 20, 30. Hey, it's up to you. It's up to you because you need to choose, second point here, your financial goal. How much money do you want to make more than you've been making? It's up to you. Now, those two things, start with the end in mind, look at Charlotte. Second, how much money do you want to start making more than you're making now? I'm going to show you how to do the math, okay? Because it's not rocket science. Now, before I do, I want to share a quote. Eric Worre, who's a consultant in network marketing, his quote is, "Be more committed to the next event than anyone else on your team. Have a stronger belief than anyone else about their importance, the event's importance." You have got to literally, viscerally, passionately tell people, you want to change your life, eyes on the prize. We're going to Charlotte as a team, okay? And we are going to change ourselves and change the world. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to believe. Because, by the way, you do it right and it's true. Plenty of lives have been transformed at Legal Shield, and all of them will talk about a major event, a convention. So let me say an example. Okay, what is it really to do a team building run? I just said that you have 4+ months to get to Charlotte. What if you said, you know, Jeff, I want to go big. I would like to get the 6-figure ring. I want a $100,000 ring. I want to build a business that I'm going to generate $100,000 of income in a 12-month period, maybe even faster, by the way. And I'm going to be like, all right, I'm going to show you the math. You need to get, and I apologize here, I haven't updated. This needs to be Charlotte, so please forgive me. My bad. We need to get 100 people to Charlotte, okay? That's what I need you to, if you can in your mind, cross out the D word, put in the C word, okay? I want to get 100 all new associates on my team to Charlotte. Now, you don't have to personally have 100 new associates, but your organization does. So again, you're the leader. You've set the vision. If you have 10 real strong teammates, everybody's going to get 10 people to go to Charlotte. That's how we're going to do it. It's just the math. Now, let me tell you something. If you're going to get 100 people to Charlotte, then you're going to need to get 35 people, brand new people, signed up and registered for every Super Saturday between now and then. June, July, August, September, okay? You say, well, that's like 140. Well, maybe some of them all can't come, right? So you want 100, Give me 140 that are brand new associates, and you get them all registered. From your bundles, you've made the investment, you've got the right price, it's easy for them to get registered for the convention. Here it comes, all right? Well, if you're going to get 35 every month, then you really need to get at least 8 people signed up each week in between those events on Zooms that your local organizations are hosting, right? And if you're going to get 8 people to sign up as associates each week, then your team now, remember, this is all about you're leading your team. Your team needs to do 80 exposures every week. So if you have 10 people, and by the way, this is where you start to dig deep. You want to change your life, you want to change other lives, you need to get 10 solid people. This is where you really say who's core, all right? Who wants to make this run with me? Who wants to build this business together? And we'll make more money, all of us, because of it. Then I'm just telling you right now, you circle up and you say, we all need to make 8 solid associate recruiting exposures every week. And we're going to follow up on those, and we're going to get, all of you are going to get at least one of those people into a Zoom, and we're going to get them signed up as an associate. And once we get them, we're going to work with them and keep building, and then we're going to get more people to the Super Saturday event like this one. And then once we get that, we're just going to we're going to get them all registered, and we're going to find our way, and we're going to get over the hump, and we're going to Charlotte. We're going to have 100 new people. Because, again, this is back of the envelope, but you get 100 new associates at a convention, and you're going to raise your income to a 6-figure level. Active, engaged, plugged in, working this business, it's just math. It's just math. I mean, heck, earlier I gave you an example that if you got 30 people doing 5 memberships a month as an executive director, it's $7,500 a month. Okay, I mean, simple math, right? Simple math. That's 75,000 in 10 months. Give me 2 more. That's $90,000. That's 30 people, right? We're talking about 100 new people on the team. Real team structure, real override power of leveraged income. That's the math, my friends. Eye on the prize. Start with the end in mind. It's Charlotte. Okay. What is your goal? If you don't want to make $100,000 more, just do the math, right? Maybe you only want 10 people to be in Charlotte. Do the math. Raise your income by $10,000. Let me wind up now. So the things that I will tell you about events, you've got to be the verbal commercial for them. You've got to always talk about their importance from the heart. If you haven't been to a convention, you don't know what you're missing. It's life-changing. Okay, you're going to hear things that will change your life, meet people that will change your life. The experience is tremendously inspirational and motivational. The other thing that I want to reiterate from this entire presentation is to be a great leader, you've got to tune into other people's favorite radio station, WII-FM. What's in it for me? You always have to think about them, focus on them. What do they need? Reinforce their why so that they can be happier and more successful. You got to understand the importance of when you promote and when you commit. The more people you get recruited and sponsored and registered this month, the higher your probability of success towards reaching your goals by the time we get to Charlotte. Why? Because not only are you recruiting and sponsoring, getting people started right, promoted and paid, but they in turn are what? Not a destination, a doorway through to more people that they're doing. And now you're getting more and more activity. The earlier you start, it's a compounding effect. You don't have to recruit and sponsor as many people the week before Charlotte. By the way, you probably will because you can, but you get ahead of the game in terms of the compounding effect of the new people that you brought into the business. The farther out you get a commitment to attend the convention, the bigger the impact will be on your business, because those people are locking in to a team building run. They're committed to the plan. They only know what? They only know what you do and the other leaders on your core team do. They think this is what you do, okay? We're not laying on the couch. We're not flicking through, our binge watching. Okay. We've got a mission. We've got a cause. We want to change our lives for the better. We want to lead that change. The Magnificent Seven, prospecting, inviting those prospects, presenting, closing, following up, starting right, and promoting from event to event. My friends, that is the 7 fundamentals of network marketing. Sorry we couldn't all be together. Hey, we're growing stronger as a community, getting through this coronavirus. Trust me, there are a lot of places I'd like to be, and right now I'd like to be in Florida because Florida is beautiful and I'd have the chance to be with all of you, but only spiritually right now. Together, we will go higher. Together, we are growing and we are leading this change. We're leading this change of love over hate. We're leading this of equality over discrimination, of justice over abuse, of being able to see that freedom needs to triumph over subjugation. We've got to understand that hope must triumph over despair, opportunity over that despair each and every day. It's not easy, my friends, but it's what's motivated me. And I'll tell you something, I'm just getting started. I hope that you join me in our quest. I know that you want to. I know you believe. Now let's turn that belief into activity and let's get those results. Let's raise the bar together. Daniel, thanks again for having me. God bless you. God bless everyone, the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Now, my friends, please, let's go make this happen.